Hi everyone. As requested, I wanted to do a quick tutorial on how to build the furnace array that I use on my main production planet here. So as a quick recap of how this production array is laid out, it uses 120 furnaces per planetary logistics station, and it is most importantly tileable all the way around the globe. So I'm going to run out to the left a little bit here of the smelting array, and basically we're just going to go through the buildup of an entirely new module. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to find the place on your planet to start building this. So there's a couple of things that you want to look for. So first and foremost, we'll go into edit mode here. The first thing that you're looking for is, as you can see from the poll, a lot of these tile separations happen pretty far down here. So we've got 3, then 5, etc. And basically what we want to do is we want to run all the way down to the place on the planet where you've got this first big contiguous section. So there's going to be essentially 10 sets of these 5x5 squares, or 50 tiles in total, and that's where you're going to start, is you're going to want to start right at the top here. Now, like I said, this design is made to be tileable around the entire planet, so the other really crucial thing is that you start where one of these lines of longitude is completely solid throughout. So what you can see here is that sort of in the middle here, you've got sort of a split here where this line of longitude does not line up with the other ones, but every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, you're going to have one that lines up perfectly. And the design is essentially built so that it fits exactly in one of these 10 by 8 sections here. So the first thing that I do is place down my substations. So the way that we do this is we want to go onto the intersection of these top of the first long stretch and the same line of latitude here, and you're going to place your cursor directly over it and then go down by 1. And you're going to do that again in the middle of the section, so here and then down by 1, and then here and then down by 1. And that's what you're going to do there. So the next thing that I like to do is then place my furnaces. And the first furnace is going to basically butt right up against this. And the way that we space them out here is we go essentially 1 away from the side here, and then we want to leave room for the belts in the middle, so we go 1, 2, there's the second one, and then we leave a space of 3, so I like to just place down a furnace. And then you want to make sure that once again you go from the line and 1 over, so you've got 2 in the middle. So essentially you've got space of 1, space of, thank you autosave, you got a space of 1, space of 2, space of 3, space of 2, space of 1, and then you do want the same thing on the other side. So there's 1, 2, 3, 2, and 1. And once you start building these, you'll actually get the hang of it pretty quickly. So those are our first furnaces, and as a reminder, this is kind of butted up as close as it can go, 1 away from the line here. The next thing that I like to do is I like to go down and place the substations at the bottom as well, so we're going to do the same thing. See, we go 1 by here, up by 1, right in the middle as well, up by 1, and then all at the edge, up by 1. Now, the next thing is to place the ones in the middle. So this is like I said, an 8 by 10, so we're going to want to find the intersection in the middle here, and this one you're going to want to put right on the center. So this is in the center of essentially the 4 by 10 area. So you put 1 right here, and 1 right here. And you can see that this kind of forms our triangles that are going to form the rest of the furnace arrays. So then from here, essentially what you're going to do is place down all of your furnaces, and you should be able to fit exactly 15 in a line here. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11, 12, 13, 14, and this 15 one should butt exactly right up and fit right there. So there you go, you've got 15 furnaces here. Then naturally you're going to do the same thing right here, right next to it. And this is essentially one of the runs of furnaces for this individual module. So I'm only going to build up 1 here, just because it'll be easier for the sake of demonstration. But the next thing that I want to show you is how to place your planetary logistics tower. So let's go ahead and grab one of those. We're going to go to the center substation, and we're going to essentially go to the intersection of the tiles right above that. So you can see kind of faintly here that we've got an intersection right here to place. We're just going to stick it right in the middle there. So there's our planetary logistics station. I like to, whenever I set it down, automatically crank up the charging power, crank up the min drone load, and then toss some drones in just so that I don't forget. Now here are the way that I run the belts. So it's going to essentially be mirrored across the center. So we've got an output going here and essentially going straight in. One of the things that I like about this is that this also happens to be a contiguous line of latitude, so it just goes kind of straight in. Then this one goes out, there's a little bit of a bend here, and it goes in on the side. And then you essentially do the same thing here, like so. So you can see here that we've got one going out, and then coming back in, and then one going out and coming back in. So note that the input is on the left, the output is on the right. Same thing over here. But on the opposite side, we're going to reverse that. We're going to do the exact same thing in a mirror configuration. So in this instance, we're going to have this one go in like so, then come out on the left in the same exact way. I'll just kind of slightly build this up just to show you. One of the things to note is it kind of gets squirrely here with placing it, so I recommend placing it down right in front and then just doing the last belt to connect there. So there is kind of the fan out for all of the belts, and like I said, we'll just do this one right here, just so that you can see what it's like. So I like to put the belts all the way down to the bottom of the furnaces here. This last belt is, you can remove it on one of the sides, but I just like to have it all the way down. And you know I have actually placed this belt incorrectly, because it is going the wrong way. So let's fix that. So there's one side, there's the other side, and we'll let the bots place those down real fast. Alright, and now I will show you the sorter pattern that I use. So for this side here, we've got the input on the left and the output on the right. I like to stand so that it's top to bottom and then walk left. And here is the pattern that I use for the sorters. So on the left side, you go in to the top, and then from the middle, you go out to the bottom belt. Now it's very important that you're doing this from at least top down. You can kind of do it like this, but you want to be careful that you're not going into the other furnace, you're going onto the belt. So here we go in on the left, out in the middle, and then on this side we go in on the right and out on the left. And you know you've done it right, essentially, where you've got both of them pointing in the same direction here, and then both of them pointing on the left here, essentially. So the top two in the same direction and the bottom two in the same direction. And then you just kind of do this. Now, you can really get into a rhythm with this. The way that I like to do it is I like to click. And that's one of the things that you need to be careful about, is that you're going to try and naturally drift towards the center of the machine. So you want to make sure that you're moving your mouse directly upwards to do this. So what I like to do is place it and then just immediately double click. Now I'm building the second one, kind of move down this way, bounce back up, double click again. And once you get and see, if you do it too fast, you'll send it to the middle here. So I like to also have a slight tilt of my camera to the left so that you can get it going nice and fast. Now, obviously, if you're using a mod that lets you just copy these over, you're not going to have this issue to begin with. But like I said, once you kind of get into the rhythm of it, you can see that you can get it going pretty fast here. The nice thing about splitter placement is that it is kind of intelligent. See, it's not going to let me misplace this. It's going to make sure that I do it the correct way. There you go. So that is one of the 4 legs of the furnaces here. And you're going to basically be doing the exact same thing for the second one. And then on the other side, you're going to be doing the exact same thing. It's just going to be mirrored. So you can do the same splitter pattern. It's just that you start from this side instead. Like so. And you can see that visually they're going to be kind of mirrored. Or actually, they're going to be facing the same direction. It's just that where they're going on each of the belts is going to be mirrored. But then, yeah, you basically just extend that down this way, set your filter preferences, set all of your recipes, and then you end up with something that looks like this. So you can just continue putting them next to each other, and everything works as intended. So if you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments. I would be happy to respond and give you a further insight. Something that I saw in the comments of my last video, which I thought was a genius thing, was that you can actually fit solar panels in the middle here. I don't think I actually have any on me right now. Of course, I don't have the things that I need to make them, but ooh, that's my Dyson sphere. I always forget which button to press. Let's go ahead and grab some of my refined silicon here. Fun fact, you can also just grab things from planetary and interplanetary logistic systems from the map, so that's a very useful feature. But if we just grab a couple of solar panels here, one of the fun things that you can do, and this is actually quite good because if you have a smelting array the size that I do, and you do it all the way around the planet, which is kind of the intent, you can actually get a non-negligible amount of power generation just by placing solar panels here. So you can fit 7 aside, which means that in total for this, you can't fit them in the middle here, but you can fit them on this side too. So in total, you can have up to 28 solar panels per smelting array. But yeah, this is what I've got. Like I said, if you have any questions, do please let me know. But other than that, that's all I've got for you now. So thank you very much.